So imagine if a fairy tale got drunk, cried over his ex, and started trauma dumping glitter all over a cursed kingdom. That's the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. You're welcome. Now, technically, this trilogy is a spin-off of Caraval, which was already unhinged, but this is like Caraval's emotionally unstable younger cousin who believes love will fix everything and is constantly wrong. So here's what you need to know going in. Evangeline Fox is our main character. She has pink hair, main character syndrome, and the survival instincts of a rom-com protagonist. Jax is the Prince of Hearts. His kiss is fatal, his trauma is biblical, and he is somehow everyone's type. Apollo is a hot prince with red flags so massive they've got their own zip code. And the world, full of curses, magical contracts, talking doors, emotionally manipulative trees, and zero therapy. If you like romance that hurts, characters who need brain cells, and plot twists that slap you in the face and steal your lunch money, congrats. You've come to the right fairy tale. Meet our pink-haired girly, Evangeline Fox. She works in her dad's curiosity shop and deeply, tragically believes in true love, which is adorable. Until her boyfriend Luke dumps her to marry her stepsister. Like, immediately. Naturally, she panics dramatically. So Evangeline does the completely logical thing. She walks into a creepy church and makes a deal with a magical fate known as the Prince of Hearts. His name is Jax, and he has all the red flags of a YA love interest, platinum blonde, emotionally unavailable, looks like he hasn't slept since the invention of magic. She returns home, and surprise, everyone at the wedding is now a stone statue. Turns out Jax stopped the wedding by cursing the entire guest list. Feeling guilty, Evangeline gulps down poison to break the curse, turns herself into a statue girl. What? And becomes a tragic public hero. Honestly, Taylor Swift would have written a whole album about her by now. Fast forward, she's unstatued weeks later and gets invited to this huge event up north called Nocte Never Ending, where Prince Apollo, yes, another prince, will choose a bride. And for some reason, she brings her backstabbing stepsister Marisol with her. Girl, no. They travel to the magnificent north, which is exactly what it sounds like. Fancy, cold, magical, and crawling with cursed royal boys. Also, Jax is there, because of course he is. At the ball, Jax cashes in kiss number 1 and has Evangeline plant one on Prince Apollo. And bam, Apollo instantly falls in love with her like he's been hit by a love spell truck. She tries to undo it, but it's too late. Prince, I just met you, but I'm obsessed, proposes. So now Evangeline's a princess-to-be and everyone's clapping like this is normal. But Apollo? Yeah, he starts giving off obsessed fiancé energy, like he'd buy your name as a domain and post sad poetry about you. Meanwhile, Jax is being all cryptic and broody and keeps talking about the Valerie Arch, a magical door that can only be opened by a key, which turns out to be surprise, Evangeline. So naturally, he's using her for prophecy reasons, obviously. While all this is going down, Evangeline uses Kiss 2 on a random woman who instantly drops a prophecy bomb that basically says Evangeline will either unlock powerful ancient magic or absolutely destroy the world. No pressure. Evangeline starts questioning literally everyone's motives, which is good because people keep dying, lying, and showing up with bite marks. She brews a truth potion to finally get Apollo to admit what the heck is going on. And what does he confess? Oh, nothing major. Just that he killed his brother, was under a love spell from Marisol, and oh yeah, he's not actually dead, just lightly cursed. Then, boom, Apollo dies. Very publicly, very dramatically. But secretly, he's just cursed and hidden away like a magical Sleeping Beauty knockoff. Also, Jax may or may not have orchestrated the entire thing to use Evangeline as his magical skeleton key. Yeah, cute. Things escalate real fast. Evangeline confronts Marisol, who turns out to be 10 times more manipulative than we thought. The court tries to arrest her. Jax breaks her out. And just when it looks like we might get a resolution, Evangeline stumbles into a hidden chamber and finds Apollo still alive, still cursed, still very much a part of Jack's messed up plan. She realizes just how deep the manipulation runs. She's heartbroken, humiliated, and swears off helping Jax open any magical doors, arches, or metaphorical emotional walls. Girl is done. Or so she thinks, because just when she's ready to walk away from fate, curses, and chaotic blonde men forever, Prince Apollo opens his eyes. And the story? Yeah, it's just getting started. So, the Ballad of Never After, this is why we have trust issues. We open right where we left off. Evangeline's like, okay, time to find a healthy, curse-free way to fix my life. And the universe immediately says, LOL, no. Apollo is awake, but now he's got 2 brand new curses, a mirror curse that links his life to Evangeline's. If he gets a paper cut, she's bleeding. If he dies, she dies. And a fairy tale curse that turns him into a murdery hunter destined to chase Evangeline down like it's open season on pink-haired romantics. So that's not ideal. And there is Jax, again. Broody, dangerous, hot, and completely incapable of staying out of her life. Evangeline's still furious with him, but also, she might be catching feelings. Again, girl. Anyway, Jax is like, forget Apollo, let's open the Valerie Arch. We just need 4 magical stones. Luck, truth, mirth, and youth. And Evangeline's like, wow, that sounds like a terrible plan. I'm in. So off they go on a high-stakes magical scavenger hunt, dodging curses, assassins, emotional damage, and Jack's insane cheekbone to heartbreak ratio. During this journey, they stay in a magical inn called the Hollow, which is cozy, cursed, and definitely screams romantic tension. They run into Luke, Evangeline's ex, who is now a vampire, because of course he is. Jax is somehow becoming caring. He's still chaotic, but like emotionally supportive chaotic. Evangeline tells herself it's fake, it's all manipulation. But her heart, it's not listening. Meanwhile, we start to understand what it actually means for Evangeline to be the key. Her blood can literally open magical doors, which makes her incredibly valuable and also kind of screwed. Jax confesses he doesn't want the Valerie Arch open for power anymore. What he really wants is to go back in time to the one girl he kissed who didn't die, Donatella from the Caraval series. Yep, he's still not over his last doomed love story. Evangeline is like, cool. I'm just a magical door to you again. Love that for me. But she can't help herself. She still wants to believe he could love her instead. Eventually, she gets all 4 stones, opens the arch, and, plot twist, walks right into a trap. Inside is chaos, a cursed vampire prince with a tragic backstory and a thirst for blood, literally. He drinks from Evangeline and kills her. She dies in Jack's arms. Like, actual death. Heart stops. Lights out. Goodbye. And then Jax uses the 4 stones not to go back to Donatella, but to rewind time and save Evangeline instead. Let me repeat that louder for the people in the back. Jax chooses Evangeline. Everybody is shook. Jax himself included. He sacrifices his shot at a do-over with his true love to bring her back. And when Evangeline wakes up, she doesn't remember any of it. Jax keeps his distance. He doesn't tell her what happened, doesn't try to make her remember. But Evangeline, she feels it, that something's missing, that she's forgetting something or someone important. And just when she finally decides to find him, to confess everything she's starting to remember, Apollo strikes. With one cruel spell, he wipes everything. Every kiss, every heartbreak, every almost love confession. Gone. Again. Seriously? Now Evangeline is smiling in Apollo's arms, clueless. And Jax, he's watching from the shadows. Knowing she no longer remembers any of it, the girl he loves doesn't even know his name. And worse, she thinks her story's over, but lucky for you, it's not. Will A Curse for True Love finally give us a happily ever after, or is it just a fancy title for emotional damage, but make it deluxe? So Evangeline wakes up in a castle. No memory of Jax, no memory of her epic adventures, no clue that she's in the middle of a magical love triangle from hell. All she knows is Apollo is her charming, kind, maybe a little possessive husband, and she's a princess now, Yay. But something feels off, like my soul is whispering that I'm in danger off. Meanwhile, Apollo's like, I'm so glad you're back, darling. Jax is evil. He stole your memories. Definitely don't go near him, ever. And Evangeline's like, kind of weird how no one will tell me anything, but sure. Now, let's pause, because Apollo, he's spiraling. He's telling everyone Jax is a criminal, a manipulator, a menace. Meanwhile, he was the one who wiped her memories. But it's fine. He did it out of love, which is what people always say right before they gaslight you into marrying them. He keeps Evangeline locked in the castle for her safety, makes up lies about her past, and spreads propaganda like a fairy tale dictator. But then, plot twist, Jax returns. Our favorite cursed heartthrob shows up just in time to pull Evangeline out of a literal wishing well. Because apparently, attempted murder via enchanted fountain is trending now. He's trying so hard to stay away from her, but he just can't. Even with her memories gone, Jax still protects her, still watches over her, still loves her, and every time they're near each other, her mind sparks. She starts having flashbacks of kisses, of heartbreak, of him. Then she finds a letter hidden in Jack's coat. It's in her own handwriting. From a version of herself she doesn't remember. A version that knew the truth. And just like that, boom, her memories come flooding back. Everything. Jax, the arch, the deaths, the sacrifices, the kiss that never happened. She realizes that Apollo didn't just betray her. He tried to erase her entire identity. So now she's done playing nice. Evangeline storms off to find Jax and is like, okay, listen, I love you, but also I'm really mad, but also let's talk later because we have a psycho prince to stop. But wait, it gets worse. Because Apollo's not just doing evil monologues anymore. He's after immortality. He's discovered the tree of souls, which can make you live forever. Only catch, it demands the life of the person you love most. So naturally, he plans to sacrifice Evangeline, because of course he does. Red flags, he's got a forest. Meanwhile, Jax, sweet, unhinged Jax, thinks his kiss might still kill Evangeline. So he does the one thing he knows will protect her. He trades his heart for a magical cuff that causes pain to anyone who tries to harm her. Yep. The man literally gives up his ability to love to protect the girl he loves. If that's not peak emotionally damaged boyfriend energy, I don't know what is. Evangeline wakes up to find Jax gone and a mysterious cuff on her wrist. When Apollo grabs her and it burns him, she finally realizes what Jax did. She runs after him and finds him in the forest, ready to destroy his own heart so he can never hurt her again. And Evangeline's like, okay, no, we are not doing this self-sacrificing nonsense today. She tells him she remembers everything. She tells him she loves him. And then she kisses him, and guess what? She doesn't die. His kiss is finally safe because she's his true love. Yep. Somewhere, a reader just screamed into a pillow. But we are not done. Apollo crashes the moment, rude, snatches Evangeline, and drags her to the Tree of Souls. He's about to go full immortal villain mode when, plot twist, the tree doesn't take Evangeline. It takes Apollo. Why? Because the person Apollo loves most is himself. And the tree's like, thanks, I'll take that ego now, and yoinks him out of existence. Turns out, this was the Valor family's plan all along. They used Apollo to reclaim their throne and clean up the magical mess. So with Apollo gone, the curse is broken and no more fates lurking in the shadows. Evangeline says no thanks to being queen, and she walks into the sunset with Jax, finally choosing love over power. No crowns, no thrones, no lies, just a girl, a fate, and a love that took 3 books, 6 betrayals, 2 deaths, and 1 evil tree to finally get right. And they lived happily ever after, probably, with a few trust issues and matching emotional baggage.